Hey, hello, how are you? I'm Denelle, the Sky Blue Stitcher, and this is going to be my floss tube number 3. So it's my second update, and I have an actual plan today. I have notes. So I guess I'll just say hello. I hope everybody made it through the storm. We did. It was actually nice. I got a lot of stitching done. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed home. We canceled all our plans. Now everything's been moved to February, so February is going to be crazy busy though. We have stuff going on, excuse me, every single weekend. And I don't think I'm going to get this much done in the month of February that I did in January, but I did get a lot of stitching done, and I did a thing that I will tell you about later. I'll mention it. It has to do with hands-on design. I'm very excited about that. Let's see. I have a plan. Okay, so I have, excuse me, one FFO, which is an older piece that I finally finished because my loose goal is to get a fully finished object done at least one a month for the rest of the year because I have that many pieces, and I hopefully will have that many more finishes. So I did get the one, and I did it last month. I did it in January. Now it's time to do it in February, so I got one. I have one new start. Still have a lot of things in the works, but one that I actually started. So I have 4 non-full coverage pieces I'm going to talk about, and around 7 full coverage pieces that I made some progress on. And I still love them all. And one is very near a completion. I'll show that at the end. I want to talk about 3 shout outs of other floss tubers I want to draw your attention to and thank personally. I call it my shout out / enabling list. It is growing. I can't mention them all, but I thought maybe I could mention 2 or 3 each floss tube. And I have a lot of starts in the works. Like I said, those are coming. I got some haul, but I'm not going to show it. I'm going to only show the one because it has to do with the hands-on design thing. The rest, I'll just show those as I do the new starts. And finally, I'm going to mention, in case anybody's interested, but I'll put it at the end, and I'll always do timestamps and like chapter divisions. So if you're only interested in just the stitching and none of the chatter, none of the house building stuff or books or anything like that, you can skip all that. But I've got 2 audiobooks that I listened to this month that I can happily, joyfully recommend. I would give them both 10 out of 10 as audio book experiences. So I will talk about that at the very, very end. So let's just get started. Real quick. Oh, I should mention too that this mug, here's what it looks like in the front. Isn't it pretty? My best friend, Angie, I'll probably talk about her a lot. We've been best friends for 30 years. She's a potter, and this was what she gave me last Christmas. She's given me another beautiful thing too. Maybe I'll show that one day just because she's really good, and her gifts of handmade pottery are precious to me. But anyway, let's begin. So I want to show you my FFO, which I'm so excited about. I have loved this piece for years. This is Light by Barbara Anna. And when did this come out? I don't know. I think it might have been 2020, 2021. I did it when it came out. It was kind of known as the fox in the dress sale that was going on. And I did finish it, but then it languished in my finish pile forever. And I found this red, it's wood, but it looks metallic, frame at the thrift store for a couple dollars. And I thought it looked great on this. So I laced it myself. I put some batting behind it and no glass. And I think this will count as one of my winter pieces. So I wasn't too worried about not putting glass on because it won't be out all year. I'm trying to remember the details on this one. I did use mostly the called for. It's called Light by Barbara Anna. And it was a freebie. So I think it's still available as a freebie. I'm sure it is. And I dyed my own fabric, kind of a gray blue. And I love it. And she's so sweet. Anyway, there you go. That's my FFO. And it's out right now because it's still winter. I figure it'll go out with my winter stuff. Okay. Oh, and I have a new start. I've had the pattern for a while. Let's show this first. This is the pattern, or the pieces. Ans Designs, Cranberry Christmas. I'd like to make all 4 pieces, the pillows and all 3 ornaments, but I'm starting with this one, the Mary. And this picture does not do it justice, as you will soon see. They never do. They're always prettier in person. And I am doing this on the called for fabric. That's what happened. I started this a while ago and I didn't like my fabric and I went back to the called for. So this is the Mary. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I love the way she finishes stuff. I don't know if I'll finish it quite as pretty as she did, but she does have a video on this one. And so this is where I'm at with this. So this is Mary ornament on 32 count linen. I think it's Zweigart, might be Witchelt. And the color is cocoa. And the color I had, which was a beautiful piece of oaken lugana, it just didn't look right. So I ripped that out. I'm going to use that for something else. And I'm going to do, I think I can do all 4 pieces on this one if I do tight borders. So yeah, this one's almost done. This should be done, I guess, by maybe the next video. All I have left is that top part. So I love those. And I think when I'm done with all this, I do have plans to pass the stash. I'm not quite that organized yet, but eventually I would like to pass along all my paper patterns that I know I'm not going to stitch again. We'll get to that maybe the next 2 or 3 videos. So look for that, passing my stash. Okay, and this is another one that I just started last month, and I put a little more work on it. This is Act Justly. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, by Sweet Wing Studio. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly. Micah 6 is the verse it's from in the Bible. And this is where I'm at. So I got a lot done. It's a very small, quick piece. And I'm doing this on 32 count Murano in Spa Blue. I think that's the color. I don't have the paper anymore. I hope I'm not backward. I think it's going to be right. I find out when I edit. So I got all the words done, and I got this side of the border. It's almost done. Not quite. I still got a bit more to do. And then thankfully it's not symmetrical, because I would never get that right. I never do well with angles of stitching. They're never symmetrical for me. So thankfully this one is not symmetrical. It's just going to be close. And I did my own thread conversion for it. I just kind of picked things I had out of stash for Fancy Floss and DMC. So Act Justly, Sweet Wing Studio. That should be a finish. That'll be a finish next time if I don't forget about it. Let me throw that over there. Okay, and this one, I'm still plugging along on the Merry Christmas. This is the kit, an Artiste kit, Merry Christmas. I saw this first on Jen the Caffeinated Crafter and can't stop working on it, even though I should be getting my spring stuff out. I love this piece. There's something really satisfying about finishing the letters and then back stitching them. So let me put that there. And so I was going to do 1 letter a month, but I just couldn't stop. So I did 2 letters. So here's where I'm at now. So I had the CHR done last time. Now I've added the I, which is that Christmas tree, and the S, which is the ribbon and jingleberry. What are those called? jingle balls. And I think that S is what sold me. It is so beautiful in real life. Just love this piece so much. It is so fun. And I thought, like I did with the I or the R, I'll show you the before and after of the I and the S with the backs, before and after the back stitching, just because it's so neat to see how it comes to life. In particular, that S. It's just nothing until you backstitch it. So I really love that piece. I have an idea of how I might finish it. I don't think it's going to be with a traditional frame. I think I have an idea for that one. Okay, and this one, I think I've shown this in the other previous two. I don't have, of course, all my pieces done, but this one has come up because it's a gift. So I am on track to finish. This is the Sewing Girl by Hannah Levchuk of My Brave Stitch. Here's what it's going to look like when it's finished. And it's on 30, I think it's 32 count Lugana in a model taupe from Mystic Fabrics. And I did more. So I have mentioned before, but her hair is changed to blonde. I did a conversion there and I changed her fabric to pink. Everything else is the same. So I finished this area where the sewing box of thread is, and then I started her foot and some of the shading on the bottom, and I came up here to start her leg, her blue jeans. And then I'm really excited. I think I'll finish this thing with her leg, and then I'm going to come over to this part is where you'll see the sewing machine and that beautiful bouquet of flowers, that's going to take a while because it's all confetti. So I love the way that's coming out, and I think I'm on track to get that finished. My daughter's birthday's in May. Sorry, the other one is in May. It's in June, and I'm on track so far to get them both done if I don't slow down or get too distracted. So let's hope that happens. So here's the other one. Okay, so now that's the end of my non-full coverage. I did mostly full coverage this last couple of weeks. This is another full coverage, and it is also a Hannah Levchuk. It is also a girl in a window, and it's called Girl in Autumn Window. Well, I guess that one wasn't a window, but it's a girl. Here's a girl in autumn window. And here's what it will look like when it's done. And I'm doing this on 16 count Aida that I gridded myself. We'll finish this in a hoop. And this is fun. I got the cat done. Look at that cat. He turned out so cute. The way he's postured in that window is perfect. It is that exact resting position of a cat. So I'm really enjoying this. I really enjoy this piece. It is a very easy stitch. So let me get that close so you can see that kitty cat. Isn't he sweet? So this is in memory of Spam, their first cat together, who is no longer with us. But and I got a lot more done down here with the stone behind her back, and the framework of that window is coming in. So, and I've done a little more in her hair, I think. Maybe. But I'm getting close. I did some of her fingers, her arm. I have all the colors now. I was missing a few. So I love the way this is coming out. And I hope this should be a finish. If I keep going, those two, should be a finish in April and May to get them prepared for gifts in May and June for the girls. Okay, my other full coverage I got a little more on is The Brave and the Wise from the Hayed Sal. So it's charted by Heaven and Earth. And I think the designer is called L&L Designs. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I always put everything in the bottom because I have a terrible memory. So I might put it up here, and I'll also put it down below. And yeah, so The Brave and the Wise. So this is how much more I've done. So I'm filling in that little robin. I got a little more done around his face, and I've got more done in his belly, and I'm going to actually work on this today. So I'm hoping to fill in his little breast, his little belly here, and his little wing right here. I won't get to his wing probably before I put it away for the month. And I don't know if it's going to come out next month or not, because I have other full coverages I want to make progress on, but he is coming along and I just love the colors. It's very cheerful. It's very fun. He's very sweet. So I'm going to keep going with that. And then this one I talked about last time. This is more girl and window. Girl, oh, never mind. I cannot remember. I just call it window. I don't know what the real name is. Flowers in the Window, I think. I know that artist is Carl Larson. That's the painter of the original painting. Anyway, here's what it will look like when it's done. This is that. Let's see. Now, I showed you this last time. This is the printout. Not a very good one, of course, but it's the printout. And I have done a little more. I'm starting over here, and I've done a little more in that chair area. It's a very challenging stitch, but it's also very satisfying. And it uses, I mentioned it before, but it uses a lot of blend, so it's much slower. And this is on 18 count aida. Yeah. And I won't open the whole thing. There's no point. This is everything I've done. So it's just huge, though. As you can tell from the picture, look at the size. There's the chair in the picture, and there's the chair in the fabric. So multiply this by about 3, I think, and that's about the size of it. So I put a little more in over here, and I tend to do I don't know, what's the opposite of extreme? Modest. So I do cross country, but only in an area. I don't like hanging threads, although I do that sometimes too. But you can really see the chairs coming in. Here's the other piece of the chair. It's a very challenging piece, but I love it. So that is Carl Larson's. Oh, and it was charted by Scarlett Quince, who is retired now. That company is retired, but all of the Scarlett Quince pieces, I believe, are on Pain-Free Crafts now. If I'm wrong about that, I will put that information down below, but their pieces are just gorgeous. Okay, and here's one that I just started last month, so it's still fairly new, but it's probably my favorite piece of all my full coverages. I probably say that more than I should, but I love this one because it's all about the blues. So this is called Drifting in the Pines. It is Golden Kite, charted by Golden Kite, and they don't list the artist for some reason. And so that's what it looks like when it's done, and this is how much I've done since. So I've gotten, it doesn't look like much, but I've gotten about 1,200 stitches in. So this is just in the sky, and it's honestly, the piece is mostly sky. It's just a dreamy watercolor type piece. And again, this one is about half blends, so the colors are just gorgeous to work with. But it is going to be a slow project. It's 250 by 250, so not gigantic, but I am doing it on 18 count. No, this is 20 count, 2 over 2. Oh, I forgot to mention all my thread counts. Oh, well, I'll put it down below. So I love this piece just for all the colors, but I started doing this one, strangely enough, in hand. I usually use a hoop, but that one just felt so good to do it in hand, and not because of the fabric. I mean, it's kind of crunchy, but just, I think it's a slow piece anyway, and I feel like my stitches were neater when I was doing it by hand because it's a little tight, and I'm doing that with CXC threads. That and the robin are like 99% CXC threads. If I was missing any CXC thread, then I would, replace it with DMC. But the coverage is so good, but it is a polyester thread, so it's a little slippery to work with. It does slip out of your needle every now and then. It sheds and frays a tiny bit, but not really worse than DMC, the cotton. I like it. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me where I got my CXC threads, and I just want to shout out a fantastic supplier. She has been so good. I had questions, I had issues, I didn't know how to send her all of my threads that I wanted. And she gets back to you. It's called the Naughty Unicorn. I think her name is Sophie. And she's on Etsy, the Naughty Unicorn. Best customer service, bar none, I've had on Etsy so far. And it's always good. Most of those small company owners, they do really good, do really well to respond to you. But she really helped me out, like email, pictures. I had lots of questions, and she was very patient, and she got back to me. Also, the other thing is when she mails out the threads to you, they are organized so beautifully. She does a printout of the thing that you sent her. She shows everything that she checked off, and then she packages all the colors in numerical clumps, and it's very neatly done. It's hand done. You can tell she cares about every order that goes out. And then it also came in a very timely manner. So I cannot recommend her enough if you're interested. And it's dirt cheap. It's probably less than half the price of DMC. So for full coverage, I think that's the way I'm going to go. I do have a master set of full coverage, I have a master set of DMC that I pull from, so I think it'll be a mishmash, but I really like the CXC enough. I liked her a lot. I liked the price. The price point was fantastic. I think I can see myself going forward kitting up with, if I'm kitting up with the CXC, and I have 2 more in the wings that I have no business starting, but I probably will sometime this year. Okay, here is a dimensions kit known as Rocky Point. I'll put the finish up here. Here's what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is really fun to work on. But I'm in the whites right now, so you can't really see a whole lot of progress. I'll have to point it out to you. But I did make a fair bit of progress on this. I think I got 1,000 stitches in, maybe more, but I'm not sure you can tell. So here's where I'm at now. Oh, I've not been telling you where I was. I don't know if I'll stick those up or not. I should probably do that. Here's where I'm at now. Well, I'll just show you. Here's where I was. And then here's where I'm at now. So I guess maybe we can compare. I don't know. But I did more down here, right here. Let's see. I think I've got, let me show you this. I can show you where I'm at if I don't get the glare on there. So I've started did I start over here? I think it's over here on this side. And I'm moving my way toward the big rocks. Or I started over here. Honestly, I can't remember. What did I do? Let's see. Oh, no, I did start over here, right? Yeah, I'm on these big rocks and I'm moving that way. So there's a lot of white. Gosh, I can't tell. Anyway, right now it's just rocks and water, so it's really hard to see. But it is a fun stitch. I'm doing it, with the 2, 3, 4 pieces of thread, but I'm not going to do the 5. It's just too tight. So if it ever calls for a 5 thread, I don't know if this one does or not. I've just kind of let those go. I'm not doing 5. It's too hard it's just too hard to pull through. So, okay, and here is the library, and this is charted by Heaven and Earth. And the original artist was Auguste Tolmouche. She's a French painter in I think it's the late 1800s. That's what the dresses look like. I didn't look it up. And I did a lot in this. Not sure, again, you can tell. Here's where I was. And here's where I'm at now. And there she is. So I did more. I'm trying to bring it down over here. I should get a board. Let's see. I'm trying to get more done over here. Okay, and I have these hanging threads And then I remembered as I was doing this, I was moving to the other side where the hanging threads are. And I realized why I had put this down for a while. It's because I had a tablet that died and I lost all my progress. And since I do a lot of this with cross country, it was really hard to tell where I had been. So what I think I'm going to do to get myself back on track, because it's kind of hard to read where I'm at, is I'm going to, here I'm all caught up on Pattern Keeper, like up to about here. Pattern Keeper's probably pretty close to correct. So I thought, well, I couldn't tell where I was exactly, just because every time I looked, I would get confused because it's just kind of a long line. It all looks the same. So I'm going to get her face filled in and get a clear line across finished so I can get back on track to where I'm at over here. So, and that'll take a while. This is a big piece. This is a Max Color Mini, and I'm doing it on 18 count fiddler's cloth. So this is about a quarter, maybe close to 30% done. So I got a ways to go. So I love the piece and I love working on it. And this crunchy fabric is like they all do over time, which is why I don't mind them. They soften up over time. So it's actually pretty soft right now. Pretty easy to work with. And I started doing this one on, instead of in a hoop, I started doing that in hand too. So I don't know, there's something about that right now that feels really good, just to stitch with my hands instead of having to sit back from a hoop. Because I can't see, so I have to have a lighted magnifier to see anything I'm doing. So I don't know, there's just something about it that was really nice. And last of my full coverage is the one that I am so close to a finish on. This is Copenhagen. It's a Luca S kit, and I'm doing it on 18 count Aida that I gridded myself. And so this is where I was at before, and I've put another probably close to 1,000 stitches in, and here it is now. So I'm working in this corner down there, and I was color completing in order of highest to lowest, but I decided I really didn't like that because I couldn't tell the difference. It was too scattered. I wanted to see something filled in. So what I did instead was I decided to start in that building, where that last blue building over here, and I started color completing based on the colors in there. So if I picked a color out of there, I would finish it in the blue house, and then wherever it showed up in the rest of the pattern. And I did like that better because now I can start to see more of the filled in picture coming in, which is so satisfying. So this is the way the kit looks like when it comes. This is the picture that they give you. So I am filling in over here. This is my final corner, and so I'm up to like 90% done. So I would say this will be a finish by the next time you see it, but it probably won't. I get, after about 1,000 stitches, maybe 1,500, I'm ready to move on to my next project. So it may be a few more months before I actually finish this, but it will be a finish this year. I'm definitely on track to do that. Okay, so I did a thing. I gotta quit clapping right in front of the microphone. If anybody else is interested in doing this with me, I would love to, I don't know, make a sal out of this. It's brand new. It is the, where's the piece of paper? I don't have it. Okay, I'll put it up here. Some image that goes along with it. All right, so Kathy Haberman has started a new ornament club. It's done on Patreon, and you can sign up for one of two tiers. And of course, you should go to her website and she'll tell you all about it. But there's an $8 tier where you just get the pattern, and it's a pattern a month. The collections are like 3 months, I think. I think she does 3 coordinating ornaments, And you can do the $8 tier where you just get the pattern and then you kit it up yourself. Or you can do what I did, and I feel a little decadent, but I'm so excited to do this, at least for 3 months. We'll see how it goes. But you sign up for the $16 tier, and with that, and this is why I really signed up, you get videos on how to finish the pieces from Kathy Haberman, who is the queen of finishing. So I don't have many techniques for finishing in my back pocket. So I would like to learn some more, and that's really what I'm paying for. I mean, obviously the patterns are really adorable. I love her patterns, but I really want to learn her finishing techniques. So you get videos, you get, there's just a lot of stuff extra that goes along with it. And since it's my first time, I decided just to go all out, and she has collaborated with Lindy Stitches to provide the materials if you're interested. And I thought for this first one, so I'm going to do the first 3 months, the 3 patterns of the ornaments, and I forget the name of it. I'll put it up here. But I went ahead and bought the doodad trims and doodad pack that goes along with it. And so this is enough to finish 3 ornaments. And then also I bought and it's already came, Lindy Stitches, the turnaround there was really quick. It was in my mailbox in just a matter of a few days. Less than a week, I know that. And I also bought all of the boards that you'll need to finish the first 3 patterns. So the mat boards. Yeah, I could have done it myself, but these are like precision cut, and I thought, since I'm going to already invest in learning all the techniques, why not go all out and do the trims and doodads? It's a Santa, it's a plaid, and it's a candle. Horse and okay, I don't know. She's only released the one. She released them one a month, and the first one is this. And she's already released it, so I can put it out there. I think, if not, it won't be here. But it's the Santa. It's like Sweet Santa or Sweets and Santa. It has to do with candy canes and Santa, and it's very traditional Christmas fun stuff. So, and I got the fabric also. This is the fabric. This is what is this? I got a 1/4 yard of Zweigart 32 count in raw natural linen. So this is going to be on linen. But I'm excited, and it's enough to do all of the pieces on there with 1 piece extra for maybe another ornament. And I did not buy the fabric from Lindy Stitches only because they were sold out, which is probably going to happen with these ornament pieces. That's what I'm thinking. If I decide I want the doodads and trims and the boards, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and get them, because I think they'll sell out. The fabric was already sold out, and she was going to order more, so it'll probably be out soon. Okay. So I'm excited about that. If you want to join in on doing the ornaments with me, I would love to do that as a Sal. So just let me know. And we could even do it, if you don't have a flosstube, that's just fine. Just maybe through Instagram. I'm not real active on there, but I'll get active for this if you want to do that. So just let me know. And again, I just want to say thank you for all of the comments. I'm having so much fun with the comments, because very quickly with Stitchers, they're just regular folk, nice people who just want to chit chat. So if I mention something on the flosstube, they'll often respond to that personally, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I put something out about the Copenhagen piece being meaningful because my family's from Denmark, and a gal put on there, and she's like, oh, my dad's from Denmark. We're probably long lost cousins. And I went, actually, we probably are, because Denmark's small, and it doesn't take much to be a cousin. And also my family from Denmark and Germany on the other side, Germany and Denmark are right by each other. My great-grandfather, Henry Gravy, he had 18 kids. And my grandmother was one of 18. So yeah, I got cousins everywhere. Hundreds and hundreds of them. In fact, there's still a gravy reunion every year at Erling, Iowa. His descendants get together. And I went last summer. And there were like 250, 300 people there. That's out of like thousands of descendants of these 18 kids. Because like my grandmother went on to have 9 children and married a man with 3 more children. So she had 12 children. And, you know, they were all from the same general part of Iowa anyway. So when she said she was my long lost cousin, I was like, you know what? Yeah, you probably are. Okay, so speaking of that, that's a good transition to get to my shout outs. And I want to shout out 3 folks this week. Now I have a whole list of, I've been keeping a list because when somebody puts out a pattern or something that I'm really interested, I jot it down in a little notebook. So I've got a growing list of enablers, people who've put things out or ideas out that I want to follow up on. So I want to mention 3 this week, but I have more, so I'll save those for later. But I want to say a special thank you to Chris at Craft and Chris, and I'll put it up here, and I'll also put it down below. I think she's Canadian, but I've never seen her before. She came up in my feed, and I loved everything she stitched. Like her aesthetic is very close to mine. So I was like, I love that. I love that. I love that. She does birds. She does her stuff is gorgeous. One thing I don't do that she does is horses. So if you love horses and you like to stitch horses, she's got the most beautiful collection of horse stitches that she's doing. And a couple of them I have never seen before. And they were just gorgeous. I mean, horses are beautiful, but they were really, really beautiful. But that is not the thing that hooked me. She did this piece that is a DMC card stitched on Aida, and then she finished it like a folding card. So she has a real life example of all DMC colors, but it was the way she put it together. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, is that slipped into plastic, or how did she do that? Because it was so neat and beautiful the way it folded. And so I actually reached out to her and said, hey, I would love to know how you did that. And she so kindly, she reached out to me in email and mentioned that she would either tell me online or put it in her next video. And that would have taken forever online. So her next video opened up with showing how she did that. So I will put a note about that down below, but that is definitely going on my to be stitched list. And then when I get ready to finish it, I'm going to use her as the model for how to finish it. I thought it was the neatest thing ever. And I cannot wait to start that, because that'll be really fun, because I do have a master DMC list. I have a master DMC collection, I guess you call it, which one day I also might show how I store that, because people are always interested in that. When I didn't know how to do it, I looked up a lot of YouTubers who shared that, and I kind of took bits and pieces of ideas from other people. Anyway, just a thought. So Craft and Chris, thank you, Chris, for doing that, if you see this. And the other one was Karen at the Owl Stitcher. Karen so sweetly reached out to me in person and invited me to something. And gosh, that meant the world. Real people, you know, I really am doing this because I want to connect with y'all. So thank you, Karen, and she's got a lot of beautiful pieces, and she doesn't know it. I should probably tell her this, but she is going through her old magazines, Just Cross Stitch and maybe others. I have the digital copy of back to 1999, from like 2026 to 2025 to 1999, I think is what I have. So I have a lot of digital copies, and she pulled out one that was an older one from Just Cross Stitch, and she showed these 3 pieces done by Carolyn Manning that were kind of spring. I think they were called fairy garden or something like that. Anyway, I think I'm going to follow up with her and see if she'd be interested in doing that along with me, because I went and looked it up on my digital copy of the magazine, and they're gorgeous. And of course, I was thinking of doing another Carolyn Manning anyway when I get the one finished that I'm working on. So that may be something in the works for later. So that's Karen at the Owl Stitcher. And then I finally want to throw out, this is for y'all if you're interested, but Erica at, what's it called? Stitchy Reese Pieces. I've been watching her for a while. She has started doing, she does a lot of things. She is like mega talented. She's got every kind of stitching. She sews, she has an Etsy shop, she does bags. All my bags are made by my mom, so I haven't really purchased any bags, but she does beautiful bags. And then she does a lot of things. And she does have a knitting and crochet, I think, hook bags also that she sells for storage. But anyway, she has started a business that does charting for charts. She's got like 50 already, and they're so pretty. They're pretty. Her aesthetic is a lot of nature, sweet. There's a lot of pink. It's not all pink, but there's a lot of beautiful pink pieces. And even though I'm a blue gal, I love all the colors, and I love pink too. She is running a giveaway right now. She just posted it, I think, yesterday or maybe a couple of days ago, that she's going to give away one of her charts. So I would say go there, go to her video, and then she has a link. Watch her video and then go to the link that she provides, and then she's just put your comment in there for a pattern of your choice. So I think it's called Pink Pine Pattern. Again, if that's wrong, I will put it down below. So that's it for that. So those are my shout outs for the week. And then finally, I want to talk about 2 books that okay, so that's it for cross stitch, but I'm just going to talk about like 2 things for 2 minutes, maybe. That's a lie. I never do anything in 2 minutes, but I'm going to try. So if you like audiobooks when you stitch, I listened to 2 this month that were fantastic. I mean, 10 out of 10. Love these books. Go listen. They're so good. Now, okay, one is this one. I know I have the physical book too, because I like to go back and forth between the physical book and the audiobook. And this is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. And I have read several of her books. She did Cranford, Mary Barton. Those are pretty well known. She's done a few more also. Sylvia's Lovers. I haven't read that one yet. But anyway, this is my favorite. This is probably the 4th time I've read this. I love this book so much. And today is my online book club. And this was the featured book of the month. So we're going to talk about this today at 1 o'clock. Man, do I love this book. And there's a great adaptation BBC miniseries out if you're interested in that. I don't think it's free. It might be free on Roku or something. It's wonderful. It's not as good as the book. They never are, but it is a great adaptation. But the book is so much better. So I don't want to tell you a whole lot about it. But the general gist is it's sort of, and this is not right, this is not quite it, Pride and Prejudice set in industrial England of the 1840s to 1860s kind of era. But it's so much more than that. And it's so much more than a romance. The romance is great, but it's rich, it's deep, it's thoughtful, it's meaningful, and it'll change you as a person. It really will, because there's a lot. When you talk about prejudice and listening to the other side of a story, and the characters are so well developed, and I want to be like Margaret Hale, and you will admire John Thornton so much, I think, by the end, and even John Thornton's mother earns a place in your heart, even though she's a tough tough old bird and a little rude, she ends up being quite a beloved character to me at the end. An admirable character. So that is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. And the reason why it's so good as an audiobook, because Juliet Stevenson is the narrator. She is the best British narrator you will ever listen to. Trust me on this. I have gone and looked up books just to listen to her tell the story. She's a wonderful actress. She brings all of them to life. And Gaskell is really big on going into the dialect, like the Manchester dialect of the 1800s, which can be a little rough to read. She writes in the dialect. And so I don't know what that sounds like to my ears. And Juliet Stevenson brings it all to life, so that I do know how those characters might sound. And then she acts out the characters and everything. She is phenomenal. So, okay, if you're looking for an audiobook, I recommend that. And then another one that I recommend, I don't have the physical copy of this one. Well, I was going to point this out too. If anybody's interested, if you like Elizabeth Gaskell or that kind of writing, I'm reading her biography, because she's a fascinating person herself, especially in the times that she lived, for what she accomplished as a woman not of great means. But it was recommended to me by people in the book club when they were reading North and South. People were talking about how great this biography was. So it's not audio. I don't think it's available in audio. I'm not sure. So this is just an extra. It's not audio, but it's so good. Already it's good, because she's a fascinating person. Cranford is one of the best books, is one of my favorite books. Mary Barton was good, not my favorite, but it was very good. It's also an audiobook. And I think Juliet Stevenson also reads that one, which is probably why I picked it up. And finally, in our book club, we're going to read, I think it's in April, we're doing 6 books in 6 months. And I think Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier is going to be our book for April. And I've seen the movie, but I've never read the book. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I thought, well, I hear so much about her. Why don't I pick up one of her other books and listen to that? And then I'll kind of know what I'm in for. I kind of do anyway, but I didn't know much about My Cousin Sylvia, which is also by Daphne du Maurier, which is a real popular book of hers. And I think there was a movie made in 2018. I don't know if I'm going to watch that or not. I'll read the reviews and stuff first. Sometimes they ruin a great book by making it kind of a little too spicy for me. So we'll see. This was not a spicy book at all. So anyway, I don't want to tell you a thing about it, because I went into it blind, and I'm so glad I did. I knew the bare bones gist of it. I knew when it was set in 1800s England, late 1800s. I knew that it was a suspense and a slow burning suspense. I didn't know much else. And I read the back, of course, so that gave me the gist of the story too. But I'm so glad I did not do any research on this book. This book was fantastic. Go listen if you've never listened, and don't read about it. Just let the whole story unfold very slowly. And it has a really good narrator if you get it on Audible. Or I think I got this. I didn't get it on Audible. I got it from Libby. So my library, it was a library loan. But the characters are so believable and so interesting. And she does such a good job of the slow reveal and the little hints and little red herrings of, you're not quite sure who the villain is. You're not quite sure there is a villain, yet villainy may have happened. I mean, you just don't know. I was so drawn into the mystery of this. And every time I thought I knew how the story was going to unfold, it twisted. And the very, very last chapter, I did not see coming. I did not see that coming till like the last 5 pages. And I was like, I still don't know, but I think I know, but I'm not sure I know. But even if I don't know, I was still completely satisfied because the characters were so good. and you change your mind about the characters all the way through. You flip and flop, and it's really well written. So now that I've read that book, My Cousin Rachel, which now I'm thinking about even that title, My Cousin Rachel, I think has more importance than I realized when I finished the book. So My Cousin Rachel, Daphne du Maurier, Elizabeth Gaskell, North and South. If you need audiobooks that are good and rich and wonderful, there's my recommendation. Okay, I think that's it. Can't think of anything else. I think I've covered my list. Good thing to have. I think it's good that I had a list. I think I'll do that next time. Alrighty, y'all. I hope you have a great time stitching. I hope you have a great February. We're about a week into it. I hope y'all are doing something fun with your sweethearts for Valentine's Day. We are going to see our daughter finally and our son-in-law. That's going to be our Valentine's to each other. I don't know if it's a Valentine for the kids, but it's a Valentine for us because we had to cancel because of the bad weather. And the last update on the barn update and the house and the move and all that is my husband met with the guy who builds the road, is going to build the road for us. And it's going to be tricky, but it can be done. And that's it. So we did find a road guy. So I think it'll go in probably sometime in spring. We do the road, the septic. I think in the spring, the road, the septic, and something else. Can't remember. Oh, the well. We have to get the water. So that'll probably be done all in the spring sometime. So updates as we go. It's very slow, but I'm not in any hurry. So, all right, that's it. Now that really is it. So anyway, y'all have a great rest of February. This will probably go out next week. Oh, and I'm planning on, if all goes well, I would like to start putting out my FlossTube videos on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. I think that will work well in my schedule and gives me something to plan around. So maybe you can look for that in the future. All right, y'all. Please keep the comments coming. It makes me so thrilled, and I just feel so engaged. And I love meeting you, even if it's only online. So I'll look for you next time. So anyway, happy stitching, y'all, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.